This is a mini lesson analysis on the Marth Ditto. I'll be critiquing the blue Marth here. Yeah, so just be careful, like when you're trying to punish like unreactable things like this fair here. When he did this fair, it's really easy to think that like, oh, he's right there, so I'll just hit him, right? Unfortunately, this is a low lag soft commit move where they could get out of the way immediately. So just be very careful about interpreting that as like, oh, I could just hit this guy, right? So, you know, it looked like he was about to maintain space, but he really gave us space last second. That being said, I do think you could do better than just simply CC down tilt. I think you have enough, like, not necessarily like a true punish, but usually you have enough time to do a CC CC run up grab. I think if they do the lowest possible fair, it's probably not true. But since he didn't do the lowest possible grab, you could get away with doing a CC grab because doing a down tilt kind of just creates complicated situations. Hey, at least you didn't forward smash there necessarily. I mean, funny enough, if you forward smash there, funny enough, if you just forward smash, you definitely would have just like owned him really badly. But I like the idea at the very least. And again, I just want you to be careful about going for some of these down tilts in terms of um, because down tilt is really good at beating grounded stuff, but should that be your primary concern? Is grounded stuff really the thing that you're afraid of? Because it only really beats grounded approaches, as you see here. Now, at least you're doing it at low percent, where like you could CC grab, but he easily could have just like dared you. And also relative to the distance that your opponent was, it like yeah, like you did briefly give up space, but then like you immediately went back in when his effective like he just assumed that you would stay in place. So yeah, even though you gave us space and then you took back space, you effectively just maintained your space, and then he just went in. So like a lot of these down tilts, when they don't work out, at least not as cleanly as it could be, it's just because like you're losing the macro idea. So just kind of keep that in mind. That you know, you like those two down tilts were different because earlier on the first down tilt was because like you approached and you took space as he gave up space, and the second down tilt that lost was that you maintained space as he took space. So just kind of keep that stuff like that in mind. And also, when it comes to air stuff, avoid like just like straight up challenging like that raising fair you did, just because like the micro of hitting that properly in this like vertical interaction is it's fairly difficult, not to mention very consequential. Here, notice how like, his micro in terms of calling out your vertical game is much cleaner. Instead of going for like rising aerials, he went for a late aerial to cover options, and then only goes for rising aerials when it's guaranteed. So I just want you to be very very careful about like vertical game like that, because that's actually like by far the most impactful thing that's happened so far. It's just because like you made that one mistake with your vertical game with that rising aerial, and then here he does like a late aerial to only guaranteed full hop aerial. So consider not going all in of your vertical game. Yeah, really bad rising fair from him. Oh no. I wonder if there's like I don't think there's like a distinguishable frame when it comes to calling out both for your get up and roll. The only thing I know for sure would cover both is if you position yourself here and you down smash, so it would hit the front side and like tipper down smash the other side. So just kind of keep that in mind if you want to cover, if you want like complete coverage for the ledge. Oh, that was a forward smash, my guy, but good enough. Definitely could do better than just shield here. Like I thought this was good, but you didn't need to shield here. Like you could even CC'd as well. And yeah. Oh well. Yeah, instead of shielding, I really recommend that you CC here. Like if you CC, you just get a free CC grab here. And like Marth's at 13, where like up throw starts to be really good. Yeah, a lot of like weird missed combo. I feel like so obviously the interaction before that was a vertical interaction that got you killed, but what led up to that was also like missed punishes. And you're gonna miss punishes here and there. Just like don't go like don't panic slash like go all in if your punishes. Yeah, and you know, miss spacing there. It's okay. Yeah, be very when they do neutral DI like this, as you see here, just like run up grab or like even dash attack or rising fair. Because they did not do down away DI there. Oh no, that really avoid doing this instant double jump because that actually serves like very little purpose. You get much more flexibility if you preserve your double jump there. Yeah, again, be like I feel like a lot of your approaches has just been I feel like a lot of your macro is just getting called out here, and you need to reevaluate how you know how you're approaching and maintaining space. Like, okay, so here's one thing to note is that when you lose a macro, some are definitely way more consequential than others. Um, probably the most consequential one is when you approach and maintain space. Um, so that's why like you really want to favor giving up space a little bit more often. It's just because like the consequence of giving up space is typically lesser. The exception is once they close enough space, that's when maybe giving up space no longer becomes as viable compared to taking space and maintaining space at times. That being said, just like avoid just like take stock of whenever you lose interactions, especially when it's like a down tilt fair shore hop situation, to be like, hey, something about my macros off and I need to readjust. As you see here, like even little things like this is like, you know, you're trying to take space as he gives up space, and that's why you're kind of been on the back foot a lot of the times. Yeah, and here you try to maintain space as he takes space. And I feel like the big thing, the big sauce that's just been missing for you is like, you know, you haven't just been giving up space enough. And yeah, you know, this is just like one of those things where frankly, like you kind of got outplayed a lot in terms of the macro. Um, there was a lot of weird like punish drops too that kind of didn't help at all. But I have a suspicion that even if you hit your punishes, like the amount of macro that you were just straight up losing, um just and like how it didn't really get any better from there, I think you was just lost anyways. So um you know, acknowledging that whenever you lose with like, you know, your soft commits, you're doing something big time wrong with your macro. And, you know, the best thing you could do is frankly, you just adapt, you know, take stock, know, kind of recognize what kind of macro that it's been constantly going wrong. And this is part of being a good player is adapting midway. Cause like even I can't like win every single macro, obviously, but I at least do my best to adjust and try to play the macro that's like the correct expected value. You know, both in terms of the vertical gameplay and the horizontal gameplay.